Do you hear that? It's my cat. One more. What's up? Alright, so in this video we are going to render an image on our homepage via a Gatsby component called StaticImage. What do you think about this, boy? Alright, now in the fourth video we talked about Gatsby source plugins, but as you see here on the Gatsby website there are many more plugins, and yeah, basically each plugin have different use cases. Now in short, we can see a Gatsby plugin as a separate npm package that you can install to add extra features to your Gatsby website or Gatsby app. We're going to use one of these plugins to render a static image here on our homepage. Alright, so let's get our hands dirty. So let's say that we want to add this image on our website, and we want to place it somewhere here on our homepage. Now you can download this image via the free download button that you see here. Now once you have done that, you should move this image to the images folder. Now I've already done that, as you see. Now in order to get this image that we see here on our homepage, we'll be using a plugin called Gatsby plugin-image. So let's go to the Gatsby documentation, and maybe I have to zoom in a bit here, like this. And let's search for the plugin Gatsby plugin-image. And we see it right here. We click on it to see some extra documentation. Now, if we scroll a bit down through this Gatsby image plugin documentation, we see that we can choose between static images and between dynamic images. Now we will use static images because, as the documentation tells us, if you are using an image that will be the same each time the component is used, such as a logo or a front page hero image, you can use the static image component. So that's exactly what we need, because the image that we present right here will be the same every time that this homepage loads. Alright, so how do we use this plugin? Well, as described here above, first thing we need to do is we need to install this Gatsby plugin. And we can do that via the command npm install Gatsby plugin-image. But as you also see here, they have specified some other plugins or some extra plugins. And basically we need to install also these extra plugins for everything to work. Or in other words, when we want to use this Gatsby plugin-image, we must also install some extra plugins which are called peer dependencies. So basically next to this Gatsby plugin image, we also need to install the Gatsby plugin Sharp. This plugin handles the actual image processing that is used by the Gatsby plugin. And lastly, we also need to install the Gatsby source file system plugin, because this plugin enables us to pull in data from our local file system. Now in this specific video we won't use dynamic images, so we don't have to install this one here. Alright, so let's simply install this. So let's copy this command here. So only this part here. So let's copy it. And then we go to the terminal inside our project directory, and we paste it in here and we press enter. And this installs the plugins. Alright, so when this is finished, if we go to our project again, and we go to our package.json file, then we see that the plugins are installed. And one quick note, because I created this project via the Gatsby new command, so these plugins were probably already installed, but we see that we have the Gatsby plugin image, we have the Gatsby plugin Sharp, and we have the Gatsby source file system plugin. Alright, now the second step is that we need to configure these plugins inside our Gatsby config file, which is also described here. So we can simply copy this stuff, and we will remove this transformer sharp plugin because we don't need that. Alright, so let's go to our Gatsby config file, and then in here we see this plugins array, and in here we simply paste this, And then we remove the Gatsby Transformer Shop plugin because we don't need that one. So we have this. Now, important to mention is that after you update this gatsby-config file, the local Gatsby development server has to restart in order to pick up these new changes. So yeah, sometimes this happens automatically, and I also had some cases that it doesn't happen automatically. I don't know why, but yeah, if you see some strange errors, then probably you have to restart your Gatsby development server. And after that, everything should work fine. Alright, so we have installed the plugins via the npm command, so we see them here inside our package.json, and we have configured these plugins inside our Gatsby config file. Now, as a result, we can make use of the static image component that is described here. So, how do we use this? Well, the first thing that we need to do is that we need to import it, and we can do that via this command that we see here. So let's copy that. Let's go to our project, and then we go to our home page, which is the index.js file. And oh yeah, I forgot to remove this import here. I'm such a loser. So let's remove it now. And then let's paste here our static image like this. And yeah, what we now need to do is we need to simply inject this static image into our code. So let's do that. So let's inject it like this. Static image. And yeah, this static image expects the following props. It expects an alt prop, which is basically the alt text to describe the image. So for now, we simply say laptop. And then we need to specify the source props. And this is the relative path to our image. So yeah, our image is stored in the images folder. So we can say /image/ and then the name of our image file, like this. Alright, and finally we can also specify an upper limit for our width. So we can say something like the width should not be larger than 1100 pixels. And then we simply close it. Alright, so we have this. Now we can configure a lot more inside this static image component, so to say, but therefore I suggest to read the documentation, which is actually pretty good. And yeah, this is also one of the advantages of using this Gatsby plugin image, because you get a lot of things out of the box. The only thing you need to do is that you need to configure them, like this, for instance. Alright, now let's go to the browser and let's see how this looks. So let's refresh. Alright, so yeah, we don't see the image, and that is probably because we have to restart our development server, which I previously mentioned. So let's do that. And let's see if this fixes the problem. Alright, so yeah, we restarted it. Now let's reload, and bam, we see our image. Alright, so maybe you think, yeah, nice story, bro, but why should I use this plugin? Well, of course you get some stuff out of the box, like I just mentioned, but there is another advantage, and that is that we get some performance improvements for free. For instance, if I open up developer tools, like this, and then yeah, we are already inside the image, then we see that we have instead of one source, we have multiple sources, and we see that each source has its own size. Now this is a performance improvement because this allows smaller devices like mobile phones, for instance, to download a smaller image and render it. And secondly, we also see that we have two types of images. So we have the .webp image type, so to say, and we have the original PNG image type. Now, WebP files are smaller and therefore faster to download, so this also leads to a performance improvement. However, not every browser supports this image type, or this WebP type, or however you say it. So yeah, for that reason, Gatsby also includes the original PNG file. Now, maybe there are a lot more performance benefits or other benefits, but these are the ones that I found. Alright, now if we go back to our website, then this doesn't look that nice. So yeah, let's style this a bit. But before we do that, let's rearrange this a bit so we can style it a bit easier. So let's place this inside a div, which we give the class name classes.indexPage, like this. And then close it all the way here. Alright, and then let's also place this inside a div, which we give the class name classes.intro, like this, and we close this here. So now we're going to create another file, another CSS file, which we give the name index.module.css. And yeah, we basically use this file to style the homepage. Now, as mentioned in the other videos, we don't focus on the styling in this course, so I already prepared this a bit. So I simply do the magic trick, bam, and I have all the styling here. The only thing I need to do now is that I need to import the styles inside our component, like this. And then we say from /styles / index.module.css. And I think if I now go to the browser and I refresh it, then we have something like this, which already looks a bit nicer. Alright, so that was it. I hope you liked the video. Now in the next video we dive into Gatsby page queries. So I see you in the next video.